I was 25 when I met and fell in love with my husband. He liked to do the New York Times crossword puzzle, and he was MacGyver in the kitchen, making the most delicious dinners when it looked to me like there wasn't anything in the house to eat. He took me to the beach. He remembered every important milestone. He made me mixtapes. He didn't even mind that I do not like vegetables. Our biggest disconnect was our sex drives, but that seemed so small to everything that we had. When I told him I was bisexual before we got married, he said, "That's fine, but once it's you and me, it's just you and me." And I said, "Of course, I love you." I thought love would make the want go away. I believed in the vows I made. I thought the vows would make the want go away. But 3 years into our marriage, I cheated on him. Our daughter was 6 months old. Postpartum depression had its claws in me. I hated my weight-laden post-baby body. I was looking for connection, and I found it in a sweet artist girl. I met her when I was modeling for an art class in which she was a student. When I was courting her, I brought her pomegranates and thickly glazed donuts, and she brought me peace with long, silent kisses in her deeply shaded yard. It was the first and only time I ever cheated. She ran her hands through my hair and reminded me not to hate my body because it produced a beautiful daughter. Her body felt like home to me, like no other body ever had. Late at night, as my husband slept in our bed, I sat in the walk-in closet and cried, muffling my tears in the folds of my robe and asking myself in the dark, why would you do this to someone you love so deeply? The answer never came. After a 6-month affair, Artist Girl eventually told her husband, thinking it would turn him on. Nothing could have been further from the truth. He threatened to tell my husband if I didn't. I knew that was a further indignity I would make my husband suffer. So I told him about Artist Girl. I felt bile raise in my throat. "There's a girl," I said. "I'm having an affair with her." When I confessed, his face went white and my stomach churned. His head fell to his chest and my hands couldn't find a comfortable place to rest. I wondered what was wrong with me, what was wrong with us. I wondered what on earth was I doing. "Why did you lie to me?" he asked. He never asked, "Why did you have sex with someone else?" Only, "Why did you lie to me?" And that's when I knew. Our marriage was first and foremost about telling the truth to ourselves and to each other. My brain was swirling. Why not leave him? Why not run away with Artist Girl or another man for that matter? But my brain would immediately shudder. It wasn't that I didn't love him or that I didn't want him. In fact, that would have been easier. The problem was that I did want him, but I wanted something else too. This is how we moved forward. We told each other the truth. I told him I wasn't sure I was monogamous. He told me he loved me hard enough to test those waters. So I Googled and read everything I could get my hands on about love and sex and relationships, about marriage and adultery, and I presented my case to my husband. "Would you be game to take a risk?" I asked. And he said, "You're a smart girl. I get that you did all of this research and it's a very nice idea, but marriage and monogamy are the only way to go. Look around." So I told him to look around, and he saw what I saw. Friends in strained, sexless relationships, divorces, and second and third weddings at 30 years old. So we tried this open marriage thing. It started out with a threesome with a girl we both adored. She moved on after 6 months, but I kept seeing other people. He did too. But 3 years into our experiment, I began to feel a shift. It was gradual, and it took me a while to notice, but I didn't want men anymore, not sexually, and I didn't want my husband sexually anymore. It wasn't that I was some sort of long-lost lesbian. I was what I was then, and I am what I am now. I was straight, I was bisexual, I am a lesbian. My sexuality is fluid. One night, over decaf coffee and my famous chocolate chip cookies, I said to my husband, "Do you want me to go away?" My incredibly kind and patient and open husband shook his head, smiled at me, and just kept right on dunking his cookies in his coffee and said, "No, I love you, and I want you to flourish and grow, and we have a beautiful daughter, and just because you love women doesn't mean we have to lose our family." And so we became a new kind of family. I wrote a book about our open marriage, and people were surprised. Some people were scared that somehow my openness would threaten their own marriage. Some people wrote hateful emails, and other people cocked their head to the side and said, "But you look so normal." As hard as some of the angry emails were, it was still the most empowering thing in the world to be authentically living my truth, to be living and loving in a way that suited me and the people I was connected to, instead of conforming for the sake of conformity. As I look around now at the many battling married couples or warring divorced ones whose children cover their eyes and ears, splitting time and holidays and loyalties, I think those are choices, and so is this. And for us, it's the better one. We have had our awkward moments and our painful ones, mangled calendars or misdirected feelings. We've also learned to read one another in such a way that I can tell exactly when a night on the couch watching hockey is in order and when a heartfelt discussion over a quiet dinner is needed. I feel safe and happy and loved when my husband says, "Have a great time tonight," when I leave on a date. And my husband feels safe and happy and loved too when I say, "Don't worry, I already sent your mom a birthday present." He takes out the trash and cooks dinner. I manage the house and never make him go bra or tampon shopping for our daughter. Living authentically offers me the same sense of peace that a hike in the woods or sunrise yoga on the beach does. Now I can breathe. My 15-year-old daughter knows I'm a lesbian. She knows I love her and that I love her dad. She knows that I make sacrifices to stay. She meets the people with whom I form close relationships. She knows them as my friends. She sees no more than any other teenager would of an adult's love life and world. I'm not promiscuous, and she is not privy to anything untoward. I'm just like you, just different. Not everyone accepts my choices. Living an unconventional life has its drawbacks. Being judged by strangers who really know nothing about you is no fun. But for me, living a conventional life is like performing in a play every night whose script I don't even like. I do my best not to put myself in a box because boxes leave me feeling strangled and confined. Boxes are for cereal and crayons and stray clips and tacks and pins, things that need to be contained. I do not need to be contained. My relationships and my sexuality are not at any risk of getting spilled or scattered or lost amongst the cracks of the hardwood floor. That's why I'm a lesbian, married to a man, raising our daughter, living our truths, no lid required.